So I'm going to go ahead and get started. There may be some more people that join us throughout, but we're just going to go ahead and start. So we're going to be screen sharing today. So there isn't any video of me, but I figured you'd want to know who you were talking to. So that's me. My name's Elizabeth. I'm a membership clerk here at DoSpace. In the past, I have worked in public libraries, and I've actually run Facebook pages for 2 different libraries. And my very first job after college was at a group of small newspapers, and I helped with running their Facebook pages as well. So I've had a good amount of experience running Facebook pages, and I currently manage a page just for fun that is for my friend group where we do pop culture polls and stuff like that. And that page we're going to actually go into today so that you can see some of the backside of pages and see some data and analytics that you get when you're running a Facebook page. So that's that. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to start with how you set up your Facebook page if you don't have one. And then we're going to go into important information to include on your Facebook page to make it maximally helpful to the people who might be checking it out. And then we're going to finish up by talking about different kinds of content that you can create and how to make your page as engaging as possible. So if there is anything that I go too fast on or that you want to go back and hear again, we do actually record all of our webinars. I just hit record when I started talking at 2 o'clock, and so it will all be recorded, and then we have someone who edits our videos and puts them onto our YouTube channel. So you can check out DoSpace's YouTube channel in the future if you want to re-access any of the things that we talked about in today's video. So with that in mind, I am going to go ahead and get started on how you create a page. So I'm in here with the pages that I already have for different things, and you just go ahead and hit the create a page button, and you have to log in as yourself in order to create a page. So if step 1 is creating your page, step 0 is having your own personal Facebook. Because there were a lot of spam accounts and accounts intentionally distributing misinformation and things like that. Facebook started requiring about 2 years ago, I think, that business pages be linked to an actual person's Facebook. So if you don't have your own personal Facebook yet, you need to set that up first, and then it will link to your business or brand Facebook. So there's 2 different options here for what you can create. You can either create community or public figure or business or brand. We're going to go through business or brand today because I feel like most people are probably looking for either their company or their nonprofit or their side hustle, how to create a page for that. But if you do need to use community or public figure, it's very similar. It will just maybe not have a couple of the features that business or brand has with advertising. But community or public figure would be if you're creating something like you're a politician and you're making a page for your run for office, or you're promoting your blog or your YouTube page, or like the community part is like if it's like a church group or a Boy Scout group or a group that meets up to crochet together. So if that is what you need, you can definitely go ahead and follow along with our steps on business or brand. They're very similar, but you'll just get more options tailored to something that's not selling products if you go with community or public figure. So we're going to go ahead and hit get started on business or brand. And since this is a page that I am just going to delete as soon as we are done with this test, I'm just going to call it test sample page because it's only going to be on Facebook for 3 seconds. When you are naming your page, you need to be as specific and accurate as possible. If you have like an Etsy shop where you sell crocheted blankets and you titled your page crocheted blankets, that's not going to help your specific customers find you and follow you. You need to have like your business's name, crocheted blankets, or your personal name, crocheted blankets. Or if you're creating one for a Boy Scout troop, you need to have like Boy Scouts and then your pack number or den number so that it's not just Boy Scouts everywhere. So like as specific as possible in the name of your business so that you are easy to find and so that you can be differentiated from other similar businesses or groups. And then it's going to ask you to choose a category. So start typing. So we're going to pretend that I have an Etsy shop. So I'm going to put craft. So then it gives me arts and crafts store, and then a bunch of other options that could be related to crafts. So if there's not one that specifically is exactly what you're looking for your page, choose the closest possible option. And then it's going to ask you for your address and phone number. So if you do have a physical brick and mortar business that you are promoting with your Facebook page, you're definitely going to want to put in your street address, because if someone stumbles across your page, sees your paid advertisement, or sees your page by chance and thinks that you're something interesting, you don't want them to have to do the extra step of going to Google to find your address. Because then they'll already be annoyed that they had to do another step between finding you and being able to go visit you. So make it as convenient as possible and just go ahead and put your street address on your Facebook page so that you're findable. And also having an accurate city and state. If you do choose to purchase promoted ads through Facebook, will help them target the ads as best possible to people who are local to you. What do you do if you aren't someplace that has an address? If you are doing online tutoring or an Etsy store or something, and so your street address is not information you want the public to have, there is a don't show my address, only show that this business is in the city and state region option. So you can put in your home address and all it will show is the Omaha, Nebraska, or Papillion, Nebraska, or wherever you're coming from. Because this is just a test, I am just going to put in that I live at 123 Sesame Street, because it doesn't matter, because this page is getting deleted in 2 seconds. And you have to include an address. You don't have to include a phone number. So you can create your page without putting a phone number, but if you are a business that takes orders over the phone or wants to have customers be able to contact you over the phone, putting in your phone number is helpful, because again, you save them the step of Googling. And especially now when there's so much business that's being done curbside or carry out, say that you're selling art supplies that people can take home and do projects while they're stuck at home, and you do curbside pickup. They can see your page, go, wow, this is amazing, and click right on the phone number on your page if they have a smartphone, and it'll call you right there. So it makes it super easy for them, the more information that you can include. All right, so now it's going to create our Facebook page for us. Theoretically, it's thinking about it. There we go. All right, so it's going to prompt you to help people find your page by adding a photo. So we're not going to upload a profile picture because, again, this is just a test. But you absolutely will want a profile picture if you are doing your business. We've all seen the tweets on Twitter or the tweet replies that come from someone whose icon is that little egg. And usually you know that that person is not legit because they probably created their account 5 minutes ago. So you will definitely seem more authentic if you have a picture, and it also helps people know more about you. So if you already have a logo designed, you can upload your logo. If there's a sample of your product that you want to promote. So if you sell crocheted blankets and you want your profile picture to be a crocheted blanket that you're really proud of so that people go, wow, that's a great quality thing, I want to purchase from them, you can do that. If you don't have a logo designed, I definitely recommend Canva. Canva has a lot of great free tools. They have specifically Facebook covers for your cover photo, but they also have ones that are sized for social media, like to be a profile picture. And the great thing about Canva is that a lot of their stuff is free. They have backgrounds, fonts, images, and you can design whatever you want to design for your page. But even when stuff does cost, it's usually like $2 to pay for a certain background. And I've never bought anything on Canva because I've always been using it for to make posters for grad school classes or for personal use. But if you're doing it for your business, $2 is a really small investment to make a great profile photo that will attract people to your Facebook page. So I definitely recommend Canva. But we're going to go ahead and hit skip because, again, not a real page. For your cover photo, again, you can make something in Canva. You can, if you want to do like a sample of your products here as your cover photo to draw people in, something colorful, something beautiful. If you do have a brick and mortar location and you want to have a photo of your physical building so that people know what it looks like when they're driving to find you, always a great idea. If you have something specific going on right now that you'd want to make a Canva Facebook banner for, to advertise like 20% off all coffee mugs this weekend, or having an open house, stop by and get cookies, or you can promote an event or a sale or something in your Facebook banner as long as you remember to change the Facebook banner once that event or sale is over. So we're going to hit skip so that we can come on into the page here. And it's going to prompt you to invite friends to like your page. So one thing that I would say is we're going to hit X. One thing that I would say is to make sure that you only invite people who are actually local to you. If you have a physical business or group that you're meeting with, because it doesn't matter if your page has 400 likes, if 300 of those are your old friends from Kansas City, they're not going to come to your business. You want your Facebook page likes to be people who are actually going to support your business and come check it out. So definitely do invite local friends, and but don't necessarily invite people from all over, because that doesn't necessarily do anything to actually increase your business. So we are going to go ahead and go into edit page info. All right, edit page info. And this part is super important if you're creating an actual Facebook page as opposed to our test page here. So you want to make sure that you have an accurate description of your business so that people know what you're about when they come to check you out. You also, again, you can have a phone number if that's something you have. If your page if there's a website for your business, you should definitely link to it here. Or if you have a specific Etsy page, link to it here. Anything that will make it easier for people to click directly to your site to get more info about you or to purchase things from you is great. So definitely put your website in. If there is an email that you have designated for your actual business or your side hustle or your church group or whatever your page is for, you can put an email there so that they can send an email to you and contact you that way. And then you can also add hours down here. So the great thing about the Facebook edit page info is that it is always there. So if you are running different hours right now because of the pandemic than you would normally be running, you can put in your current hours and then change it back to your regular hours when things change back to normal. So you can always do that and make it accurate for now, even if that's not accurate permanently. Then also over here in the general tab, so this is where you can edit permissions. So this is whether or not to allow people to send Facebook messages to your page. And this is whether or not you allow others to tag your page, which can be great. Like if I buy a stack of books from the Bookworm and I want to tag them in my photo, then maybe my friends who have never heard of that bookstore before will see it in my Facebook post and go, oh, wow, that's a cool bookstore. I should check that out. So it can be great, but it also means that people might tag you in something inappropriate. So you do have to kind of keep an eye on what you're tagged in to make sure that it's content that you're okay with. Page moderation and profanity filter can allow you to turn off certain things from your comments so that you can make sure nothing inappropriate is being posted on your page without having to be constantly checking it. And then you can also do like age restrictions if you don't want kids to be able to see your page, country restrictions if you want to just be visible to people in the US because you only ship within the US, or whatever it is that you want to do. And page roles is another super important tab that you should definitely check on. So I'm an admin of this page that I just created because I'm the one who created it. When I worked in libraries, how it would work is that the director would be the admin and then would assign page roles to other people on staff who could also post on social media. And that way you can make sure that other people can help out with posting so that you aren't the only one who has to worry about content. So if you run a small business and want all your employees to be able to make posts, or if you co-run a Girl Scout troop and want the other leader to be able to make posts on the page, you can assign them a new page role, and it will add their Facebook page. They will then become like an editor, an admin, a moderator, And so then they can post content on the page as well. And the great thing about that is that you can also unassign them. So if someone decides that they don't want to help run the soccer team anymore, or they leave working for your business to work for another business, you can remove them so that then they don't still have access to the page of the place that they're no longer associated with. And then there's also templates and tabs, which is useful because then you can rearrange the order that stuff shows up on your page. So if you are someone who you want people to see photos first because you have a big gallery of photos about your products where you show all the different things that you make, you can just move it up, and then that tab will be more visible on the homepage. And so when people click on your page, they'll see photos recommended first, and then they can browse through your gallery of things that you provide. So that's all the stuff that I can show you from the part where it's just a basically blank Facebook page. So I'm going to switch over to a page that I run that has actual data involved. And we're going to delete this test sample page later when I am not doing the webinar. All right, so here is my pop culture brackets page, and I made both this cover photo and this profile photo in Canva. So those are some examples of like stuff you can design in Canva, and that was completely for free. That's all stuff that I did not purchase. So when you have your own page, it's going to give you an inbox where every time that somebody comments or interacts with a post, it will show up. So you can go through and look at all of the things that people have done. You can look at your notifications, and it'll show you like new likes, new comments, or people. This is one of the best if you're promoting a business, is it'll show you people who liked your post but don't like your page yet, and then you can send them an invitation. So they'll get a notification that says like, hey, I saw that you liked something from my page. Do you want to like the page itself? And then you may end up getting more people following your page and being interested in your business, which is always helpful. And the activity tab will show like reviews, recommendations. You can see mentions if people have tagged you and stuff. There's not going to be anything that shows up here because no one has tagged my page in anything. And you can also see shares. So you can see like if people have shared a post of yours to their page because they thought it was cool and worth telling their friends about, which is great and something that you hopefully will end up having people do. So on the Insights tab is where you're going to get kind of a summary of what's been happening on your page. Nothing's been really happening on mine recently because we ended our polls at the start of April, but you can see like when you look at the past, so last 28 days. So this will show you total page views, page previews, page likes, post reach, post engagement, and then you can move your little clicker along and see when you had your peaks and valleys, how many you had each day. So you can get really deep into numbers if you want to. You can really look at, you know, maybe you notice that the posts where it's just text are down here in the valleys where hardly anyone's engaging. But the posts where there's photos or videos are up here, then you know that photos and videos are the way to go. You can sort of look at how many people are engaging and how many views you have and line it up with what content you posted on that day to sort of track like what it is that people are reacting well to and what it is that people are not reacting well to. You can also look at down here, it will show you like your 5 most recent posts, and it'll show the reach of organic versus paid. So if you have paid for an ad, it will show you, like I haven't ever paid for an ad because this page is just for fun. So all of my reach is organic. So that means people who found the page on their own, either because they followed the page and so the page showed up in their newsfeed, or because they're friends with me and I shared the page's post and so they saw it from my newsfeed. But so you can look at this and analyze like how many people are finding the page on their own versus how many people are finding it through your ads. And if the paid number is not very high, then maybe paying for Facebook ads is not actually helping you very much. And if the organic number is really high, that's actually great because it means that people are finding you on their own. And that's ideally what you want, is for people to be interested enough in your page that they are getting your updates on their own. You can also see over here, you can track like how many total page followers you have, and it'll show increases and declines. It'll show you like each day how many new followers you got or how many followers you lost. It'll also show you that, which can be really interesting information. If you suddenly lose a whole bunch of followers on one day, like you probably need to look at what you posted that day that made people want to unfollow you and not post things like that again. You can also see total page likes, which is different because people can follow your posts, meaning get like notifications from your page without actually liking the page. I'm not sure why you would do that, but if you want to follow it without liking it, you can do that. And then on posts, it will show you time of day for people interacting with them. So like this shows when your fans are online, and it shows hour by hour. So the peak, the highest point on mine is 6 p.m. So if I wanted to make a post that would get a lot of attention, a great time to post it would be 6 p.m. because that seems to be when most people are on. So it would pop up as new and get right in their eyeballs. Whereas later at night or earlier in the morning are understandably less. There are apparently 6 people that are up at 3 a.m. I'm not sure why, but it's happening. So you can break it down hour by hour like that if you want to figure out like what time of day you should target your posts so that you get the most people seeing your content as it's posted. You can also see in the people tab, you can look at like the age of the people. So I am 29 years old. So obviously most people in my friend group are a similar age. So the vast majority of the people who follow my page are in that age range. But you can look and see if you're hitting the groups that you want to be hitting. Like if you're trying to target a certain age range, is that the age range that's seeing it? Or are you getting more people who are younger or older than you thought you would be getting? So you can analyze your statistics that way as well. You can also look at where people live who are looking at your page. It makes sense that most of mine are from Omaha and Lincoln because I do live here, but I went to school in Iowa City, so you get a lot of Iowa results too. Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, Marion, Mount Vernon, which is fine for a random page like I have that's just voting on pop culture polls. But if you are running a business, especially a business that is in person or that doesn't ship out of the state or out of the country, then where people are looking at it from might have more of an impact on what you're doing. I also just noticed that someone put their language as English pirate, so that's interesting. Then you can also, one of my very favorite things about Facebook pages, once you have all that information in your head, once you know who you're reaching, when they're online, where they live, all that kind of stuff, is that you can use publishing tools. First off, you can look at your published posts and see both reach and clicks and actions. So the reach will show you how many people saw your post, and clicks and actions will show you how many people interacted with it. So either liked it or shared it or commented on it. And you can see which posts are doing the best and which posts are not doing very well, which again can give you an indication of what kind of content will be popular and what kind of content people will ignore. When I used to work in libraries, there would sometimes be posts that the reach would be like 300 people, but clicks and actions would be like 2. So lots of people were seeing the content, they just didn't care about it enough to hit like or to comment on it. So at that point, you have to start thinking about how to make your content more engaging so that people actually interact with it as opposed to just seeing it. Because having 300 people see it is great, but if they're not interacting with it, then it's not going to keep showing up in their feed. The goal is to be as interactive as possible, because once someone has commented on your post or liked your post, it triggers Facebook's algorithm to say, oh, this is content that they enjoy. I would like to have more of that content in their newsfeed. So as soon as someone, like if someone commented on this post here, then my next post would be much more likely to show up in their newsfeed, which makes it an organic view as opposed to one that I had to pay for. So the best way to get more numbers for your organic views is to make your posts be as interactive as possible so that this clicks actions number is pretty high. Because if you have a lot of eyeballs, but nobody's interacting with it, then it's not going to keep showing up in their newsfeed. And you're going to end up having to pay for most of the eyeballs on your page. And that is not nearly as ideal as getting people to look at your content for free. The other thing that I love about Facebook pages is that you can do scheduled posts. So if I wanted to make a post right now about anything, we're just going to put some letters so that I have the option. I can hit schedule post, and then I can pick the exact date and time that I want it to go up. So like when I was working at the library, summer reading was set to end on August 15th. So that was the last day you could get prizes. So on the very first day of summer reading, on June 1st, I put a post in that would go up on August 8th to say, you have 1 week left to come get prizes for summer reading. And then on August 15th, I put another post in that would say, today is the last day to get your prizes for summer reading. And I put them in June and they showed up in August. So on the actual dates that I wanted them up, I didn't have to do anything. The page automatically posted them. So if you know that you have an open house or a sale or some kind of big event, a musician playing in your coffee shop, whatever, that you want to promote, and you know the day that it will be, you can set up weeks or months in advance to have that post publish itself. And then you don't have to worry about it when the day comes. You don't have to worry about whether you'll forget about it because it's already in here. And like when I was doing my polls last month for the pop culture stuff, I tried to schedule every post to publish at 9 a.m. because then it would be consistent. So if people were eagerly waiting for the next post, they would know exactly when they would get it. It would come up at 9 a.m. every day. And that's where you really can use those statistics that you have in your insights, is to look at what time of day people are on and say, okay, most people are on at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to schedule my post to go up at 5:55 every day, so that when they're checking their phone at 6 at dinner, it shows up in their newsfeed as new content. So you can use it to schedule for every single day if you want to. You can use it to schedule for special events. And it also has a stop newsfeed distribution button. So if you are running a sale and it ends on a certain date, you can hit stop newsfeed distribution so that it won't show up in people's newsfeeds after that date. Because there's nothing worse than getting a promo code, seeing it and being excited, and then going to the website and it's expired 3 days ago. So that way no one will get information about sales that aren't happening anymore or events that have already passed. So you can choose a day to stop showing that post to people as well, which is super helpful. We're just going to close out of that because that is not a real post. So lastly, we're going to talk really fast about some effective types of posts. Again, seeking engagement is probably the top thing that you can do. So asking questions is great for that. People love to, I mean, if you've ever seen the things going around that ask you about your first concert or share your senior picture or whatever, people love to participate in these random things of sharing something about themselves. So if you can find a way to work a question into your post, or you know, maybe you've redecorated your store for fall and you put up a picture of your new decorations and say, like, the store has a new look. What's your favorite thing about fall? People will comment on it. And because of that comment, they will then start seeing your posts in their newsfeed more often. So the more that you can find ways to get people to interact like that, the better you will be. And one of my favorite things to do is to do polls. Facebook is really finicky about polls for some reason. You can't access them from your phone at all, either the mobile Facebook app or the mobile Pages app. You can only do them from a desktop or laptop, which I don't know why. But so you can set like for one day and you can ask like, have you seen a webinar yet? And then you could put yes or not yet. And then, you know, choose a GIF that goes with it, whatever. Because a GIF or a picture will attract much more attention than if it is just text. That's another thing, is like absolutely make sure that you have photos or GIFs or videos on almost all of your posts, because just text posts, most people will scroll past. So if you have a poll up, all they have to do is take half a second to hit yes or not yet on this webinar question. And because they took that half second and voted, suddenly your information and your posts will start showing up in their newsfeed. So that's the easiest way to get people to engage with your page and get your page to show up in their newsfeed. So you can also do events. If there are events that your business or organization is putting on, absolutely create Facebook events for them, because the Facebook event tab on your personal page, if you've ever scrolled through there, will show you things that are local. So if you're like looking for stuff to do on a Friday and you just scroll through Facebook events, you'll see all kinds of stuff that you've never heard of before. I've actually discovered a lot of like small concert venues that I had never heard of, or like coffee shops, because I saw them in events for the first time. Like I would have never found their Facebook page if I hadn't been looking for events to go to over the weekend and seen their event, which made me click on their Facebook page and end up adding their Facebook page to the ones that I follow. So if you are hosting any kind of event, like an open house, a musician, a holiday event, anything, definitely do make a Facebook event, because you will end up getting a lot more people to find out about your business that way than you might have otherwise, because they'll just stumble across it in the events. You can also do offers if you have like discounts or deals. You can create an offer for, just for my Facebook followers, 20% off on t-shirts this weekend or whatever, and it'll give them incentive to like your Facebook page so that then they can, get your deal. And it also keeps them interacting with your Facebook page. You can do things like live videos. You can go live, you can do a watch party, but I will warn you that when you do, it shows up as a notification to every single one of your followers. So definitely use it sparingly, because if you start to spam your followers' notifications, if you're going live every day to show them the new products you have in your store, they're going to get annoyed and they're going to unfollow your page, which is the opposite of what you want. Also, we're going to go down to one of my posts. So let's say that I want to share a post from my Facebook page on my personal page, my Elizabeth Brown human page, so that my friends can see it, interact with it, and then also know about my page. So if you go down here to where it shows your little business icon, you can switch it to yourself. And then when you hit share, it'll let you share it as a Facebook message, to a group, to a friend's timeline, or just to your general Facebook page. So that way your content is getting shared to your friends, and then they may end up following the page as well. Again, if you have a business that is not location dependent, where you do a lot of stuff online or where you ship things, then why not let your friends know about what you're doing and what you have to offer, and they can help support your venture and all that good stuff. So that's basically everything that Facebook Pages has to offer, except for buying ads. And I don't want to hit to buy an ad for this page, because we don't actually need to purchase an ad. But basically it will show you automated ads, how to get more website visitors, get more leads, promote your page, boost a post, and you can follow that trail if you want to, and start paying for ads in your to show up in people's Facebook feeds for your page. And that's basically everything. So at this point, I would like to invite you, if you have any questions, to let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. Aha, there's something in Q&A. How do you get your page in more people's news feeds? the best way to get your page in more people's news feeds is to get people to interact with it so that it keeps showing up. So again, if you can put more questions, more polls, anything that will get people to interact with it, then Facebook's algorithm will pick up on it. Let's see, Beatrice's question was about embedding hyperlinks into your page. And then John says how you went from test page to your personal page and shared to friends. Yeah, so I'll scroll down to a different post because that one already has it. So on the post from this page here, so this is the Facebook page. So it's gonna show your Facebook page's icon down here at the bottom where it says like, comment, share, and then it has your icon. So then you click on that and you switch it over to yourself. So I'm clicking on my personal page. And then from there, I hit share. And then if I hit share now, it will share to, if I hit share now, it will share to my personal Facebook page. And so then all of my friends can see it. So it's just, you have to make sure you switch in this corner here and then go ahead and hit share and hit the kind that you want, either in a group, to a friend, as a message, or on your own timeline. I'm not quite sure about embedding hyperlinks into your page. Do you mean like in like the about section, like how to put your website in? Because you can enter like your website and your email. Or is there something else that you're wanting to have a link to? What are you hoping to hyperlink to? A link can be shared directly to a person's email address. You can either share it to the person's Facebook email, like to, on here, you can either share as a message if they have a Facebook page. If they don't have a message, you can just copy the URL of your Facebook page and send that to someone as an email, because you should be able to generate a URL for your page when you're naming your page in the very beginning steps of creating your own page. If you're linking to a software platform, I would think that in your about section, you could still probably link that under website. And when you make a post, you can always add a link into the post itself. So like if I copied this, I could always post a hyperlink in the post itself, and then the post would direct to the website that I was going to, or the other online content that I was trying to share. Does that help? How to invite people to like your page through notifications. Oh, good. I'm glad that that helped. Okay, so in the notifications here, yes, I want to leave the page. I wasn't actually posting. All right, so like here, it shows that 3 people reacted to my photo who aren't actually following my page yet. So not what I want to do. I don't want to open the content. So then you can click on the notification and invite those people to like your page. I don't know why it's not coming up. Yeah, okay. So then when you click on the likes, it'll show you this person and this person have already liked my page. These 2 have not. So I could hit invite and it would send them an invitation to like my Facebook page. Yeah. So that is how simple that is. Not what I wanted. I was trying to find the chat. There we go, Q&A. What would I recommend is the best scheduling tool? I have only ever used the scheduling within Facebook. If other people have used other scheduling tools and would like to recommend those, absolutely go for it. But I've only ever scheduled posts with the publishing tools within Facebook and using the scheduled posts tool. But I know that there are sites out there where you can schedule across multiple platforms, where you can schedule like a Facebook post, a Twitter post, an Instagram post, like all through the same tool. I just am not 100% sure what those are called because I've never actually used those. So if you do have recommendations for that, feel free. Ooh, yeah, Kana just mentioned in the chat that Hootsuite is, that's one that I was thinking of. I just couldn't think of the name. That Hootsuite is one that is across multiple platforms. So when you use Hootsuite, you can schedule for like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook all at the same time, as opposed to having to try and schedule in each one individually. But if you're only scheduling for your Facebook page, the Facebook scheduling tool in the publishing tools is super helpful. Did I miss anyone's questions? Are there any more things that I need to address? All right, it seems pretty quiet in the chat, so. Oh, Lisa also recommends Hootsuite. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. But if you do have any additional questions, you can send them to hello@DoSpace. That's hello, HELLO, @DoSpace.org. It is our email address that we monitor every day and try to reply as quickly as possible. So if you have any questions about this webinar specifically, if you just want to make the subject line like Facebook webinar, people will make sure that those get to me. We also have chat on our website now. We recently just added this little guy down here where it says we are here, and you click on it. So you can type down here anything that you want to chat to us. And during the hours that our building would normally be open, so 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekends, there are people who are watching it and replying to chats. So if you have any questions that way, you can IM them on the chat here and we will get back to you. Otherwise, just keep checking our calendar. We're adding more webinars all the time. And thank you guys so much for your time in watching this webinar today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.